It's the third day in a row that I've been working on this thing, and it poured last night. So we're gonna go see what the damage is on the truck. Make sure I covered up everything. You know, hopefully what I did cover up, and I managed to get a lot done and a lot covered up in fiberglass. So at least that was watertight, but there were areas that weren't. So we're gonna go see what the rain did to this thing. All right. So if you can see, the exposed steel ended up getting some flash rusting on it. This one, I think these were covered in fast etch, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's still got a little bit on there. But this is the side that I was most worried about, and thank God I covered that up, because this would have all been rusted. You can see that the areas that I missed are still, you know, covered in rust now. And they weren't, right? It was all ground down. And holy cow, check this out. So that's the part that I cleaned up, and now I have to do the same thing over again just because of the damn rain. So that's all rusted out, flash rusted. You know, I'll have to grind it all down, put fast etch on there, and then cover it up as soon as I can. Thankfully I did what I did, because this thing is all sealed up in fiberglass now. So it's a matter of grinding it all down and covering it Bondo and then painting it, and this side is gonna be done. So I'm gonna work on this today. I'm just gonna leave everything in its current state. Whatever's covered in fiberglass, I'm just gonna leave it as is right now. Try to get as much metal work in as possible and cover everything with fiberglass. That way, if it does rain, it's not going to be an issue, and then I can just always you know, sand down the fiberglass, add the Bondo, add the primer, and then be done with it. So I'm going to attack this corner right here, create that little fender lip. You know, there's a little bit more material to work with here than there was on the other side, but get that done, and then there's some holes on the opposite side of the rocker that I need to weld up and seal, and I'll do that. And then this wheel well. So what I might do is take this fender off as well, like I did with this one. You know, and address all these other little things in the tub of the truck. So it's gonna be a full day. Try to get as much done as I can. Hopefully I'll finish up the passenger side at least, and maybe that wheel well. We'll see. So it's gonna be busy. See you soon. So I'm not sure if this is from the factory, since Mercedes did apply like an undercoating, like a thick undercoating. You can see like that orange peely looking stuff. So it's like a thick rubber that they put underneath the trucks from the factory back in Graz. But this stuff, I don't know what it is. I think what it might be, if it isn't from Mercedes factory, it might be the you know, it started rusting or something, and somebody just kind of like put like, it's almost like a caulk. You know, it's like a rubbery, not silicone. It's not really flexible or anything, but I mean semi-flexible. But so I don't know. I just broke off a piece of it, and I'm just gonna get rid of it altogether, because that's just like housing moisture and things. And I'm just gonna weld in new metal along this whole section and then cover it up. And you can look inside there, I vacuumed it out, but there's still a bunch of crap in there, and that's just gonna create more rust and loose debris and things inside the rocker panel. So clean all this off, weld in all new metal along here, and that'll be done. I just sanded this down a little bit just to find any areas where there was exposed steel, and I'm going to cover that now with a little bit more fiberglass and then Bondo, and then same thing with this. So here's little pinholes here, and I found this one. I punched it out, and so I'm going to seal that up too with fiberglass. Clean that up, and this corner will be done. I just have to start working on that too. But the first thing I had to deal with is fixing this little section, fixing the backside of that rocker panel, and then also looking for any exposed steel to make sure I neutralize any rust on it, and then coat it with body filler and primer, and then address these little things. So slow going, but it's going. Yeah, that was somebody's really crappy fix. And look at all this. Look at that mess. There's more. I don't know how I'm gonna get it out. Might have to use a vacuum if I can find one. Alright, so the pieces I need look like that. And so I'm just going to trace it out of sheet metal and cut them out, weld them into place. Now I'm going to try to conserve as much of this sheet metal as I can. I don't know when I'm going to need, I might get some other surprises, so I don't know when I'm going to need it next. Alright, so I just bent this on a 2x4 and it actually ended up pretty nice. I probably should have done something similar with the other side, but oh well. So now this is going to fit in like so, or in theory. So I gotta modify it a little bit, but overall it'll fit in like that and seal up that. Just have to weld it in place and it'll seal up that little hole and sandwich everything together. I welded in all the new sheet metal here, and now it's a matter of applying a long strand fiberglass to it. So I'm going to add the fiberglass, mix it up, add it in, and push it into all the little crevices and all the little cracks. Try to squeeze it in there, and then shape it. So I'm going to use the wax paper for that, right? Apply it on there, cover it, smush it in, and hopefully we'll be done with it. So this section will be done. And now I still have to fix the holes underneath or in the back of the rocker panels, and just that little marker light and everything will be done. Alright, so I got a giant tub now of this stuff. The little 2-pound one that I got last time, it wasn't enough. So I figure I'm gonna do this, and I still have to do the rear corners and miscellaneous parts. So most likely we'll run through this, and if I do decide to do the fender flares, then I'm gonna have to. I might make them out of fiberglass. I'm debating. Well, that's it for today. Sanded a bunch of the fiberglass down. I created that entire corner section out of steel, and then covered it with long strand fiberglass. It's not complete. It still looks kind of crappy, but you know, it's for the most part it's done. Sanded that down, and in some of the high areas there were some of the metal got exposed again. So I don't anticipate it raining, although it is looking kind of cloudy. So what I did is I sprayed the entire truck down in Fast Etch, just to ensure that I don't get that flash rusting like I did the other day. And then readdressed this section. So this is all sanded down and covered in Fast Etch, just for the sake of keeping it clear of any rust. And see, here's like one of the high sections. And then I redid this, so I chopped out all the fiberglass and redid this. So I'm gonna reshape that, just because it wasn't the fiberglass wasn't sticking properly. And then this is all done. So now it's just a matter of sanding it all down. Once I get back here, the next time I come back here, sand it down, apply, wash it. After I sand it, apply Bondo to that filler, and then sand that down, and then wash it again, and then spray it with some primer. So all in all, I think it's coming together. Should be done in a couple days. I just have to create those corner pieces and close up any holes there, and it will be done. So stay tuned. I am going to work very hard to get it done.